Hi there. Welcome back. I just kind of realized I don't have like an intro for this series, which I guess I don't need it at this point, but yeah, here we are. We're going to be taking care of some of the last few major things for this run for the most part on this episode. And that is just expanding our pumpkins out like we've been talking about and getting more seeds, and I guess we'll harvest our stuff pretty soon. I think it's the next couple days or tomorrow. We're also going to keep, giving gifts to Demetrius, but more importantly, we're going to complete our pantry and complete our fish tank today or tomorrow. Depends on if we have any pumpkins ready to go. And other stuff is kind of minor, like cleaning up the shed and the other chores. But really, this is kind of the last major steps in making sure that this run is effective, I guess. Once we have the pantry done, or if you go the Joja route, once you purchase the greenhouse, you have a greenhouse and you can take care of all your winter stuff, you can get your ancient fruit all set up, and that's kind of what we're doing. So this might be this is probably the last episode with specific day goals and week goals, because we really won't have them anymore. I mean, we'll have stuff like we want to make sure we harvest, we want to make sure we get like rock candy and stuff like that, but there's really not going to be anything major that we have to do except for, I guess, one thing, which is at some point we'll have to change our profession from whatever the farming one is now. We'll change it over to artisan so we can sell our wine for more, but that's not for a little while. So yeah, I don't think I'll be doing goals anymore. That'll kind of start winding down our playthrough. We'll have through the rest of fall, and at least until I get through the first full batch of starfruit wine that I'll sell off to kind of see where we end up with money as far as the series goes. And then oh yeah, we got the, what's it called? Little void chicken. But yeah, so this will probably be the last of that, and then we'll start a new series after winter time here. And I think I've decided, I know the votes were more in favor of expanded, but I think I'm going to do a 1-year perfection challenge for my next playthrough, which was like the runner-up decision. And I have that all set up. I'll do like a big 100 days style video for the first episode, and then start doing them on the similar schedule to this, which is going to be like every other day, or maybe I'll switch to like Monday, Wednesday, Friday to try and have that kind of consistency, and just like 3 videos a week or something. I don't really know how to do this kind of stuff, to be honest. So I don't know, we'll see. But for now, this run's kind of getting towards a point where you can decide which way you want to go. If you want to keep going hardcore min-max, you can, and focus just on farming and skull caverns, or you can do kind of what I end up doing, which is switching your perspective a little bit and sort of just, I don't know, just kind of playing normally or however you prefer to play. The first couple months are really what makes you the most money. Like spring is what really sets you up to be the most successful. And fall is just kind of like, I don't know, tending to a bunch of pumpkins. That's about it. And yeah, so we're turning in these bundles, we're completing them all. Pantry will give us the greenhouse, like I mentioned, and the fish tank will give us the opportunity to pan, which on this run we don't need because we don't need lucky rings. But otherwise, panning is a really good way to get a lucky ring early on if you don't get one from skull caverns, and if you like fishing. I left those spots for scarecrows, and I don't place a scarecrow on the bottom right hand corner for so long, and I'm pretty sure it cost me at least a couple pumpkins, which doesn't really matter, because it's like just 2 out of a couple thousand, so not a big deal. And yeah, we're just making more kegs, you know? And that's it, really. Like, there's nothing really crazy going on. We're finally able to clean this up and make the paths nice. We have our second shed that we can start doing kegs in. At some point we'll get the quarry going where we can get all of our jars for preserving pumpkins going. And once we run out of star fruit, we can also turn it into pumpkin juice, which is not as financially efficient, but you can do it, I guess. We have the materials. But yeah, I don't know when I'll start doing the pumpkin thing. Probably a couple days. But at this point, I'm just taking it easy. I'm kind of running the much more casual style min-max run. And I know I mentioned before that it's been making me want to do a really hardcore min-max run. But I don't know if it's not something I would do a weekly video for, or a long play for, just because it's so like time consuming and like memory consuming as far as like storage space on a computer, because you'd record a run and you'd reset 40 times or whatever, and that's like your full day. And so I mean, one day takes like 4 hours to play sometimes, and I don't think people would want to really watch that. I guess maybe if it was like a streamed thing, but I don't know how I feel about streaming necessarily. I've only done it a few times. Very, very, very few times, to say the least. And yeah, I don't know if that's in the future or not. I don't know, maybe, I don't know. I guess I'm not opposed to it. The only issue I'd have with it would be like, I don't think a lot of people are up and about while I'm making these videos, or like watching streams at like 6, 7, 8, or 9 in the morning. I don't think that's a great time to watch, but who knows, maybe it is. And our crystallariums are finally getting into position. And there's our greenhouse. I'm doing a run right now separately from this where I went the Joja route, and I like the Junimos so much better than the little construction crews that roll up, just aesthetically. And so yeah, we got pumpkin seeds already purchased, I think. I think we did that today. And we also have a lot of money coming in already, so we're in a good position, I would say. And now that we have the greenhouse, we'll take time to get everything situated there. And we have such bad luck today, we're definitely not going anywhere else. This might be only a 2-day episode, because today is going to be all harvesting, obviously, because it's going to take forever. And then we got a bunch of giant crops too, which is pretty common on these min-max runs. They're not as special as they feel when you only have 9 pumpkins, you know? So yeah, mostly today. I guess we are going to play 2 days. Today and tomorrow, our main goals are harvesting today and replanting. And then we'll plant all of our priority seeds, which are winter seeds and our ancient seeds. And then probably tomorrow we'll do starfruit and maybe some forage seeds in the greenhouse, if we have time, because I don't think we'll have time today. And then at some point we need to make coffee, because we're getting a little bit low on our espressos. So once we have some starfruit wine done, we'll throw in some of the beans we have and make it into coffee, and then turn it into espresso now that we have a big house. That'll just kind of alleviate our need for diamonds a little bit. But yeah, so today's a pretty chill day. It's just harvesting, which I won't show a ton of, because it's kind of mind-numbing, and it makes these days seem a lot faster, and it really makes you miss like tractor mods. If you've ever used a tractor mod, they're really, really nice, but it kind of spoils you and gets you really reliant on that, and it makes you not want to play this way. So the one thing I don't really like about those giant crops is when you harvest them with an axe, it leaves empty spots that you have to retill and refertilize. So I should have mentioned this earlier, but make sure you have a little bit of extra deluxe speed grow, and that way you can retill and re-fertilize those spots, because it will happen. You'll get a lot of those giant crops. That, or you can leave your giant crops. Sometimes I'll do that. If you leave them until winter 1, because they'll last through every season. But if you leave them until winter 1, you have a really high chance of getting secret notes from them. So basically what you do is you leave all your giant crops until winter 1, you go get the magnifying glass from the shadow guy, and then you go back to your farm and break all your crops, and you'll get a ton of those secret notes without having to mine or chop rocks or kill enemies or whatever. It's not the most advantageous thing, but it's an easy way to get those notes really fast. And I don't think I'll probably do it on this run. Just for the luck charm. No, I won't do it on this run. I mean, maybe I will in a spur of the moment kind of decision, which is likely to happen. But we'll see, you know. And I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, I tried to get here. I barely missed it by 10 minutes, which is a huge bummer. And I don't know what I was even looking for. Oh, starfruit, I think. But I'll just get it tomorrow. I wasn't sure, obviously, at the time if I was going to have good or bad luck in the next morning, so trying to take care of as many little errands as I can. But again, like, so I get back to the hardcore min-max run thing. Had I missed that door on a hardcore min-max run, that's a full reset right there. And obviously I would probably do it earlier in the day so I wouldn't have that risk, but if I missed it, you gotta reset because now your plan's messed up. So that would have been 21 minutes gone that I have to repeat. So that day is already going to be a 42-minute day, best case scenario now. So like those hardcore runs can get pretty frustrating, I think, overall, and pretty exhausting mentally. So if you don't settle for little mistakes, you really can set yourself up for some heartache, to say the least. And it's Stardew Valley. It's supposed to be pretty chill, you know? And yeah, double super bad luck days, so definitely not going to the caverns. At some point, I don't know, in the wintertime I might work on a couple friendship things, but at this late in the run, I think it's pretty unlikely that I will, and it won't really matter. I'm not really working towards anything with them, so I don't know. I do need to figure out how quickly you can get 10 hearts with villagers, though, because if I do want to do that 1 year perfection, relationships will be the most challenging part, I think, aside from like obelisks and the gold clock, which that is going to be really, really hard. I'll have to min-max pretty hardcore to do it. But I'm also going to play with animation canceling on, or fast animations, I guess. You can either animation cancel like the way that's programmed into the game, or if you want, you can use like a mod that does the same exact thing. Some people are really specific about it. I don't really care. But I'll probably be using that, one of those two things regardless. So it'll make it a lot easier. So I'm hoping I can make that like 20 million year 1. And it may require me to do like step manipulation, but I'm not sure. I don't know yet. We'll see. I'm not too worried about it quite yet. Anyway, what are we doing today? I didn't even look. We just went to the desert, picked up some starfruit seeds and the rock candy, so still cruising on that. Still losing, yeah, I'm losing some crops, but I still didn't put a scarecrow down, so eventually. And this, like I said, I think in the last episode, I'll plant all the starfruit, and I'll slowly convert it to ancient fruit as they grow and as I use a seed maker to switch them over. Ancient fruit end up being the most profitable over time because you don't have to buy the seeds, and they produce every 7 days. And I don't know, they just get on a really nice schedule with the wine. And yeah, I like having that nice 7-day schedule. It works out really well. Oh my god, the cat. I swear the cat always picks the most awful spots to stand in. And that's not particularly bad there, but a lot of the time it is. What am I doing? Maybe getting some DSG. See, like this kind of stuff, you know, like... Oh, 5. I only bought 5. Like, watching that back, like, why wouldn't I just get a couple hundred, you know? Because it's never going to hurt you to have extra DSG. But I guess 5 is all I needed. So, that's all I got. Oh, and I did a little geode stuff today. And again, it's all with the predictor. That's why I opened things in a really weird order, you know, so... I was just trying to make sure I checked off a little bit more of the museum. And I don't know why. I'm not sure why I'm doing this, because I don't need any of this. I don't need to complete the museum. I'm not doing a museum run. I'm not doing a perfection run. So really, this isn't necessarily beneficial. I'll get some espresso out of it, and I'll get a magic rock candy eventually. Like, but overall, this isn't really it's not really necessary. I mean, the extra rock candy will be nice, but I don't need it. Oh, and a crystallarium. You get some rewards, but I don't know, whatever. It's just one of those things. You do some strange things sometimes. And at the time, it seems like it makes sense, but oh well. The treasure chest is good money. I'm not sure how much money I'm actually going to make. I know my goal was something like 5 million, I think. And I'm pretty sure I will get there. But I don't know how much further past that. Because I don't know, I guess I can look, I can do the math, but I don't actually have the game like pulled up right now, so I can't see how much wine I have, I can't see how many starfruit I have. And actually math it out and kind of see what position we're in. Maybe I'll just wait and save that until we sell all the wine. Because I don't even think we need money anymore. Once we buy these seeds, we'll occasionally need a little bit of money for restocking the starfruit in the greenhouse. But once these last pumpkins are planted next week, money is no longer of any value, really. It's just something we'll use for like obelisks or golden clocks or whatever. I guess we can start buying stone for staircases if we wanted to, or we could buy bombs from the dwarf if I have all the scrolls. But that's about it. I mean, at some point, having a ton of money isn't necessarily the most valuable thing in this game. Just because you can only do so much. Like once you have your 10 million for your obelisk, or your golden clock, there's no other really big ticket items. There's like the return scepter, which is fine. But I always use that accidentally, so I don't know, I never buy it. And I don't know, I just don't need the money, I guess. I kind of want to decorate the farm a little nicer. It's just a little bit hard with the giant block of pumpkins, you know. And I did grab one of those special bulletins. Ultimately, the one I grabbed, it will not get completed. I shouldn't have grabbed it, and I shouldn't have even attempted to get anything for it. But I did. I picked the ones where you need to get bones, or bone pieces or whatever, fragments. And that one's so hard to get if you don't have Ginger Island, and if you don't have a burglar's ring. Because as far as I know, only those skeletons in the mines drop them, and there's not that many of them, so it's kind of a long grind for that. And in return, all you get is the bone mill, which can be nice, because you can grind up bones for fertilizer, but it's not something that I need at all, so I do waste a little bit of time next episode doing that, which is a little bit of a bummer, but it's not that big of a deal. Oh, I also bought some stuff to make sushi, but I forgot to buy rice, so I couldn't do it. So I just stored the fish in there. And I think right now my only hold up for full completion of the community center is Demetrius and his Nautilus shell. So I'll try to get a gift from him, but it's really largely out of your control, and it's just kind of hoping for good RNG. And I don't know if it's gonna happen. I don't think it happens next time, but I guess we'll find out. And yeah, here I am trying to get these, and as you can see, like, they don't even drop bone fragments half the time. It's kind of a rough. It takes me back to like World of Warcraft kind of old school quests where you're hunting for like that one item, but it has like a 10% drop rate, and so you're just killing mobs over and over again for something. I've been really wanting to play that game recently. I don't know why, but I've been having a WoW itch, I guess. Anyway, construction's starting up again. Apparently it takes like 2 weeks to dig up a street and replace a gas pipe. So at least 2 weeks, because they've been going at it for a while. So that's been it's been nice to hear for like 8 to 10 hours a day. And they work till like 7 o'clock. So yeah, it's like 10-hour days because they start at 9 and go to 7 or sometimes 8 o'clock at night. Which I feel kind of bad for them because it's been so hot. Like we're into like 90, 100 degree days. Like our summer like ramped up really fast. And so I feel kind of bad for those guys. I sympathize with them a lot because I know what it's like to work out in super hot conditions. Like especially in like manual labor, because I used to build like high-rise buildings in like airports and stuff. And so I know what it's like to be out there in some really brutal heat or brutal cold. So I should probably get them like some drinks or something one of these days. Anyway, oh yeah, I just stand here and wait for my coffee to finish brewing. I don't even know if it does. I think I might give up. I couldn't remember how long coffee takes. If it was like a 1 hour thing or a 2 hour thing. And I wanted to try and get another batch of wine in before the night ended. And so it paid off, I guess, but kind of a silly thing to do, just stand there and wait. Not particularly time effective. We also have this cool new thing where my chair is really squeaky. So get ready for that, I guess. You'll start hearing some weird creaking and cracking when I'm recording this stuff. It's just like everything's getting noisier around me. Anyway, see you later.